Hello, welcome to my new apartment. This is my first video that I'm filming in this brand new space, so it only seemed right that we also test out some new products. So all things new today. I have a few really exciting new launches that I'm so eager to put on my face, but before we jump into that, let's go back in time for a quick word from today's sponsor. I'm so excited to say that this portion of today's video is sponsored by BK Beauty. You also saw me working with them approximately a week ago where I referenced their upcoming sale. Well, it's going on now through July 8th. And if you didn't know, you can shop BK Beauty in the YouTube shop. And right now you can use code YT20 to get 20% off select items. And that includes the very, very viral Nikki LaRose set that she created in collaboration with BK Beauty. Nikki LaRose is a professional makeup artist, so these brushes are custom tailored to different needs. They came out with a lot of really unique shapes that I didn't already have in my brush collection. BK Beauty has been one of my favorite brands for years now because their products are so high quality. Their brushes use vegan synthetic fibers. They hold up so well. I've washed them over and over and over, and they're still just as perfect as the first time I used them. So if you've had your eye on BK Beauty, I feel like this is a great time to grab some products on a bit of a deal. Thank you so much to BK Beauty for sponsoring this portion of today's video, and let's jump into it. Okay, I thought maybe the hair could stay down, but I don't think that's gonna be a possibility, so we'll just clip that up. I have refilmed this segment of me saying, okay, starting with some foundation, like 10 times, as you can probably tell, because my face has foundation on it. I feel so out of filming because I had not filmed I haven't filmed in at least probably like a week and a half. In addition to that, it also is just weird to film in a new space. Like, I just was used to my previous space, and I don't think that this will necessarily be the layout that I go with, but right now everything in front of me is boxes, so this was kind of the only possible filming setup for today. But let me know if you do like it, if everything is looking all right, or if it's sounding all right. I feel like I'm hearing a bit of an echo, but I think once I get like unpacked and get more furniture and whatnot in here, that will hopefully go away on its own. Also, this spot on my forehead, I dropped a disco ball on my head like yesterday. I have this 2-piece disco ball that I went to put on top of my cabinets thinking, oh, the light's gonna hit this really nice. And as I'm lifting it up, the top half of the disco ball fell off. I'm like standing on a ladder, reaching above my head. It hit me in the head. I legitimately thought that I broke my nose. It hurt so bad. So we might need to go in with some concealer on that. The brush I'm currently using is the A101 from the Angie Hot and Flashy collab with BK Beauty. So as I said, I just moved into a new apartment, and the main reason really was just that my roommate was moving in with her boyfriend. So our living situation obviously had to change. So now my other roommate and I have moved into this new space. And you know, we considered staying at our old apartment and finding someone to fill the lease, fill the other bedroom, but there were a few things we didn't completely love about that apartment, to the point that it didn't really make sense for us to continue to stay there. But we decided to move, so we're now in a new neighborhood, but I'm still in New York City, just in a different area. And if you're new here, I have lived in New York for the last 3 years. I originally moved here from Michigan, but the apartment that I just moved out of was on the Upper East Side. So my first year in New York, I was in Hell's Kitchen near like Columbus Circle. I definitely liked it there, but that apartment was like cursed or something. We had maintenance problem after maintenance problem after maintenance problem. Like, basically, long story short, every single thing in that apartment leaked. The toilet, the refrigerator, the air conditioner, the wall. There was like something else. One time the light fell out of the ceiling on like the light that was above my bed just fell for no reason. It was just like a string of maintenance issues. So when that lease was up, we definitely needed to move. So then we moved to the Upper East Side, where I was living for the last 2 years. And the Upper East Side is a really big neighborhood. So specifically, I was in Lenox Hill, which is like the lower part of the Upper East Side. And I definitely liked it there, but we didn't fully love the apartment. Well, I loved the apartment. The unit was gorgeous. It was very large for New York standards, and it was a really pretty space. We had these really beautiful built-ins. The building had a lot of character to it, but it was in An area that got so congested with traffic because it was like the perfect storm where the apartment was located was right where you're getting off of the bridge and right where the highway is letting out, so they converged into constant traffic, and that made filming really challenging. I would like completely work my filming schedule around traffic times. I would be like, oh, it's gonna be rush hour soon, I gotta film this, I gotta do that. It made filming really challenging for me, even though we loved the actual apartment, and I definitely really liked that neighborhood, but I'm very happy with my new apartment now, and I probably won't share my neighborhood or like where I am while I'm living here, but probably someday in a future video. But I will say I am loving it. We have been here, at the time that I'm filming this, we have been here 4 days, 5 days? We being myself and my roommate. Well, and Tilly. And Tilly is very well adjusted. That is always my first question, like, how's Tilly doing? I have moved a lot in my life, I feel like, and Tilly is 10 years old, so she's been with me in a lot of different apartments, and she adjusts really well. The move itself was obviously a little bit overwhelming for her, like physically getting her into the new place because she doesn't really like to travel, especially not in a car, so that was stressful. But now that we're here and we're getting unpacked, she's settling in really well. Like, these windows have a pretty deep windowsill and she can fit in there, so she like loves sitting there. It's also a lot brighter in here than my last apartment, so she's loving the sun. Right now she's sitting in the living room, like right in front of the window sunbathing, so I think she's really enjoying it. But we're going to go in with this now. This is new from Makeup by Mario. Just this shade. The product is not new, but this is their soft sculpt shaping stick, and they just came out with a new shade called Fair. And I actually have the same shade in the liquid version of this, which you know I don't like. So I did also do swatch comparisons before this so I could see how similar they are. They're pretty similar, but the undertones are slightly different. I almost find that the Makeup by Mario is a little bit more taupe in the swatches. The Makeup by Mario, they're both Makeup by Mario. The cream one is a little bit more taupe in the swatch than the liquid version, so we'll see. I'm pretty optimistic about this. I think this is gonna be more up my alley than this one was. I don't typically love a liquid bronzer, though sometimes I do, and some of them I like, but this one just hasn't been my favorite. It does have a brush on the other side, which I do not think I'm going to use, but it is there. Instead, I'm gonna use the Nikki LaRose N17 brush and pick it up like this. So as I said, ooh, this is a good shade for me. See, it's the same shade basically as the liquid one, but the liquid one was so sheer, I felt like it would disappear into my skin. This is perfect. Okay, wow. Wait, okay. I like this a lot. But what I was trying to say was I believe Fair is the only new shade, because when I was kind of clicking through them on the Sephora website, it was the only one that had the new logo on it. And wow, I'm really liking this. It is going on so easily. Also, oh my gosh, my disco ball bruise. I just feel like, I think I'm being so dramatic. I actually don't think it's that visible. I think I'm looking for it. But when I tell you, I seriously thought that I broke my nose. It was like a little bit swollen, and we didn't have any ice yet because we just moved in, but I did have a small little carton of ice cream in my freezer from like night one I ran to Trader Joe's. I'm like walking around with a carton of ice cream on my head. My nose is like swollen, and the cut is in the shape of an L, kind of like, you know, the little mirror things on the disco ball. Like, you can see that the one piece jammed into my forehead. Okay, but this bronzer is going on so beautifully. I feel like this looks really nice. It just went on really effortlessly. So loving this. Now we're going to get into the product that I am the most excited about. This was like the main thing I was wanting to film with, the new blushes from Rhode. This is their new pocket blush. I can't tell if I like the packaging. Something I will say truly about both of these is that the packaging feels very cheap. Like, they both feel very lightweight, very drugstore-esque. Maybe not drugstore-esque, but they don't feel representative of the price point. I will start there. They both feel like pretty lightweight plastic. The Rhode even more than the Makeup by Mario. The Makeup by Mario, though, it just kind of like rattles around in here, and I think the rattling is because it has the brush on this side, and the brush you're able to remove so you can wash it. But regardless, when I took this out of the package, I was like, oh, this does not feel like a Sephora product. This feels like drugstore to me. Like, The performance is feeling Sephora for me, but just wanted to mention that if packaging is important to you, these are both very lightweight. But anyways, this shade I'm so excited about. It's the shade Freckle. This was the one that was intriguing me the most because you know I'm into like a nude blush shade right now. So let's try this. It's pretty creamy, though I will say it's very hot today, like I said, so maybe that is partially influencing it, but I'm gonna try, yeah, that picked up pretty easily on my brush. Then I'll get just a little more and try, ooh, that's more pigmented than I was expecting. I don't know why I expected it to be pretty sheer. I'm still doing the like slightly lower blush placement and really liking it, so we'll do that here as well. This is a little more glowy than I was expecting because a lot of the reviews I was seeing, they were describing it as a little more like blurring and matte, and I think this looks very glowy actually. It's more than I was expecting. Also just way more pigmented than I was expecting. Let me run a little bit over my nose, just whatever's left on the brush here. I will say this shade truly looks like what my skin would look like if I was outside in the sun. A little bit too long, and I was maybe a little bit burnt and also a little bit flushed just from being outside. Like it's a very, very natural shade. I'm going to go back to that same foundation brush and just tap over the sides a little bit so we get an even more seamless blend here. Okay, it's pretty. I feel like I'm like way too glowy right now. It's probably partially that I'm sweaty right now. So regardless, we're gonna go in with some powder. Okay, Colourpop Pretty Fresh. As you can see, I'm like almost done with this. This is the same foundation brush, and I'm just gonna kind of like tap this in. This is the area I mostly want to mattify. I don't mind if I'm glowy over here. I actually encourage that, but we're gonna get like the center of the forehead, center of the face, really anywhere in here. Also just filling in my brows a bit. I filled my brows in a little bit with the Ulta Beauty brow pencil. Now I'm gonna do just a little bit of a brown shadow on my lids so we can get into this mascara that I am dying to try. So CoverGirl just launched this mascara, and the shade in particular that I'm so excited to try is Berry Brown. Okay, it's a little bit of a darker brown than I've been searching for, but I like that it has a berry undertone to it, and when I swatched it earlier, it looked very promising. So this is called the Eye Enhancer, and the brush I don't know that I love. It wouldn't typically be my preference. It is a natural hair brush and it is curved. Let's try this. I'm so excited to see. I'm hoping this color, because it is that brown but it has that red to it, I feel like it's gonna make my eyes pop. I tried a burgundy mascara a couple years ago. A couple years ago at this point. It was from Undone, and the mascara, honestly, it was mid. But the real problem that I had with that one though was that it did not stay at all. And I remember, like I distinctly remember one day walking in the winter when it was kind of snowing, and I don't remember where I was going, but I do remember when I got to my destination, because there was the moisture from the snow, my mascara was dripping down my face, but it looked like my eyes were bleeding. So even though I liked the color of that, it just was not gonna work. The formula was not for me. So maybe this could be my answer to having like a beautiful burgundy mascara. I will say I don't think it's super dramatic, at least from what I'm noticing on this first impression, but I don't want my mascara too dramatic. So here we go. We've got this eye done, this eye without. Here they are side by side if we looking up. What do you think? Does my eye color pop more on this eye? Let me know. I actually think this shade would really pop green eyes. If you have green eyes, burgundy is your friend. Okay, I do think it looks burgundy. Like you can see the color. So I don't know if that would be for everyone, but I think it's like close enough to a black or a brown that it's not super jarring. But like if you were up close and you saw my lashes, they do have a distinct burgundy tint to them, but I like that. I think it looks really pretty. How does my eye color look? Does it pop? We'll see. Maybe one day I'll need to do this versus just like a regular brown and see if we notice a difference. But first impression, I like the color. Okay, Rhode also came out with new shades of their peptide lip balms. I love the peptide lip balm. And the one I've been seeing everyone talk about is this one called Salty Tan. So I thought we had to try this shade today. When I swatched it though, I was like, oh, it looked way different in the swatches than it was appearing on everyone I've seen. So I'm curious to see how it looks on the lips, because swatching it on my hand is obviously going to change the shade a bit versus the lips, because it's sheer and my lips are pink. I was almost expecting it to be more brown. I don't know. We'll see on the lips though. We're gonna try it out. First, obviously I'm gonna do a little bit of lip liner. This is from e.l.f. It's their Cream Glide lip liner in Baddest Beige. Okay, time for some salty tan. Let's see how it looks. Ooh, okay, wait. It's definitely better on the lips. It's tough with a swatch of a lip product, because especially if it has some sheerness to it, because you're not going to see the true color that you would on your lips, because your lips are obviously a different color than your skin. But on the lips, this is not, I was worried it was going to be too cool toned, you know, like too gray, but it's really not at all. This is very pretty. Okay, I like the look. Let me know how you feel about the filming setup. It's definitely not going to stay exactly like this. I need to play around a bit, but let me know your thoughts right now, or even just your general thoughts on filming. Do you like a more curated background? Do you like this, that? What are your preferences? Let me know, because I'll be playing around. But thank you again to BK Beauty for sponsoring this video. Be sure to check out their sale while it's running, and I will go ahead and see you in my next video. Bye.